Right, let's go ahead and let's run this here. So look at this, and well, it's it's working out here. We have the squares that we have to select here. The only thing is that the stars aren't showing up. So let's take a look at that first. So we have our move stars to bottom here, and that's wise because we have to call move stars to bottom. All right, so let's take a look at this here, and there we go. And yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. And the stars being white actually adds in is something that's pretty nice. Now, the first most obvious thing is that the circle is way too big. So let's go and let's do spawn or the circle here. So we need to find that. And let's make this 40. And actually, I think we have to make it 20 because radius, remember, is half the circle. So let's run that again. All right. And there we go. Yeah, so it is starting to work out. Okay, so you can see that it spawns every time there's a white block, it's spawning that circle there. Just a point here, we can go to circle actual dot z position is equal to 1. And that way it will put it on top. So let's go ahead and let's do that. So we have our circle, and you can see that it's there. Now, what's interesting is that the block is a little bit in front. That's okay for now, but the question is do we want the stars to be the same color as everything? We can take a look at that another time. I kind of like the white there. It looks good, but if we really want to theme this, we might change it. But for now, let's take a look at this circle here. And what we also need to do is the circles are not technically getting destroyed. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, let's hop down all the way to the bottom here. Let's add in a function. We'll call this function destroy circles at bottom. And this may seem so trivial because it's below the bottom of the screen. It's not going to affect anything. Well, in our override function update, we're going to say destroy circles at bottom, and we're going to say if circle actual dot position dot y is less than or equal to negative, let's say 10. So it's less than or equal to negative 10, we will circle actual dot remove from parent. Okay. Now this is what it's going to be in the end, but just to kind of make it, just to test to see if this works, let's set it to 200. So that way we can see it. All right. So we'll run it and looks pretty good. And the circle, yeah, and you can see that the circle does disappear. So we know that the code works. So let's set it to negative 10. And again, this idea that you have to go and destroy objects is really important, okay? So the only other thing that we can do is if we go back and we set to our circle position, we can add in an offset of about, let's say 20. So you can see that our position here, and it has to be exclamation point and then subtract 20. All right, so that's what you need to do there. And so what that's going to do is that's going to put it more into the middle here. And remember this, and you can see that, yeah, look at that. That's starting to look quite a bit better. Okay, and so every time we spawn something, yeah, you can see that it destroys it, and there you go. Awesome. All right. So this concludes the tutorial.